sil moraru gul adal ko sa del magre al tutaw ak madengel sila o mesa TV la o mesa se tirgal soldado am digel tamakarartila mung pio ay selo se tirgang a iliak to gubet lo kyak ko kner el al masaudra atretelira a soldado am digel ma ngarbe laul pada tirgam total ngarbe lar be bitir il ngarnya ul mung kemo bentrir kemo gera kere mo direk mo olgital sukum ngarnya ko ngarnya ka riren den moger len kemengel wasa adulong leda blur bela mam dikela arreng da adulong leda lo ka compact of the association mergo kita giling tiral el mera bluat el mera eso is bluat mo spe a utma da mayang ta ser sugum gil mengerngela blur bela ma blur am dikel mal sugum moria ulti kara blulat mergo tangar tiang kita am tengel wasai gal mergol kasai klub se ko mesa skogil sweb mesa soldado white gal mararael mengaringi tol ada raran di loseng tiang wang rate telel mengpalungil te alle no saula Irene sotar tirgang no trin mos belu ko bangen magote kukti bodo mesa igel el maklol to era dilo bablo de mergo bestriate alam ko poldu sei metia gida sil ngaringia to na do bela ortial mergol sils elngia amal klot tutelel kedem dengel wasa ngaringia selo melut kara ada torior belaul morangel mom redra school kel mo minister education elngia am la top del la morasenet to mesengil adram rigel del Jenkins ngado ng lilo asing kirngar along ab ir belau lebi skor besen serang ram ngui ma angar along lora am rigel wa adigrinia ta toktang la kwame lamrut ab tokluro rasku a president surang luip samlat tutki el mo minister education masine ta albang ringela ngaringa imol mal kuk maklol tutrel togoil kuk madub ra tokora gargril langaringin gel ngal ngarmit lul telakringil wasay mil ko dirabil bang mlara kalbus emergong dimle koso mle apil sel kaisringi ya korta mlo matigarngi ratian nomrekal el longem lurro wasay tigel tedel jas wasay dimla kaltemali sel talamal sel kodel labila dimla ngiaul bang mlamubut bang mlara kalbus telalbu ile lang mlatob ngal ka Chelsea ngira kasil abil el mlada charling emergo lagi dal amdengel wasa kada ngaria klo rablul atel ngara Tokyo ngaria ngalge del ngaringi no skol mar atul ngara el algo besenget mo skol ya para omingiga el aklu ke tira morarur digel tedel ngalge del ngarsel kam kasan di kada kor omrot dari til wasebol sibil ku kora sin ma gold mal di la mal das la gold
Ngirmang sebel happen ngegiden gel ngal gra huri ping after more than 100 years itu gol mangwa gold
mar adra huri ping ngal bela malungilan rileng ketengel to itu la malon
la tirgal ngal ger bela mal ngal tanga tele ger dir gam lo join etum la qualified sebril mosel el magura competition rablu ladam
ngaringia imura tugol dilu sel tugora gargril amal klo tutelel podo tangli sel iwa tasra gort malu bang maire ra gort el stop sel alengel adra huriping el ngia alul de mira aigel leimel dartel grams malu bental bon ma ta el maknitel gar el nar sel bax el mara huriping el mei el ngilura melarang keliling gelad el Teddy Teodoro et ngilul mau bergeringi ngat gingel indikil tingel el anga kortam la osar mendias el motor dra bergeringi lendim la sa lameltel siral arresteringi el mulmable polis el ola tingel agum da segidal aga tengel koy mladu bela ngaga dirga kisang lwa waiti agira baredel tel terlamal el maadub awaitiang digalo silos peegel tingel magdi mo mengira sing ra agargri malupa adro attorney general tir ol tutakla atmo kun morargi
yuma de sengara utmela la el becalada el accused agirir al bulis el oyui seguida el meltir en garala el civil del muk malo bengi el civil sigia lo era tid e direct el civil mora government tunga adrala el dial bol hararni el atiri agida el bulis investigating interrogating adim naql bsaya agida el meltel el momdangay aldo magor tam lasar ay men dial civil mospe el walom togerni el tutakerni lo spe agida el toy
الأشيء اللي اللي ملتلا هذا متوتاكلا تقال هذا غبر نقاتل أمويلا رندير رينس لوسي كتنجيلا رامديجيل كتنجيلا رامديجيل seldom قدوم ريا Miranda rights. So you Americans should be happy that we adapt your Miranda rights. So when criminal accused, you have to give him his right to be silent for
Well, we know the warden.
So say kita. So that's it's a court decision that's kind of landmark because I have not seen it. That declare the statement of an accused suppress because.
Ngirmang sel decision era appelet el girel sel girat sel singirasil se ungil dorat el gibel smodi marad el bolodek mung raul mang milngopt. Sera trial division a decision et dilo asenga giltira manslaughter len mil sabil mil tamal emergo ngul morablin mang mom iway enyal mutel momili le dim lagal be ngul mer hospital magargri ra trial division amlom tigat mu seguidel ngar alela dim lagal gat makli aldom tamil saturu iraq etuir segel bu segel bebe la probation disera al appeal yesen ngarbabel gargri amlom de place tangani terul toktan el no testify Hindi dimlaqlo Isaac mo seguir del ngilul mo se mong iwawi nyamra lam le ula ko dallel. Dimlaqal sibrit proper seguir de dimlaqa tingira toktang el giril seguir del dit el gibel el togo la se. Dimlaqal sibrit lo oti ek mo sera ngul morablil el aglo ngul mo hospital se ki seguir de amle ula ko dallel. Seguir dia dimlaqal duma appellate division adula sendiak. Po motabdira galbus en gadi agal kilti.
Es el term se los peringia se tokaram rigela se manslaughter. Durgula sen godira adel dimlagal durungun
dimlagal dur.
El ase gidre langa amlo manno blaktaklo se trigem nara pari ngarmit nari omlim ramal do. Tiring singal bu igral suspirasment. Ese gide nya imnalo dengel wasengam milt maltial norraptul. No engun morablin emrgo tuta dalo udik lumatam angul hospital segid malgegrel klagros disegid wasen dimla lo otil wasengia kagita ila ula kodalel ila igida
Ilang na party mo rulito ko na marigel betokora. So I want to say good morning to everyone who's here and also those who are listening to us now live over the radio and those who are watching us live on television, Channel 24. Good morning to all Udesuall listeners. This show is quite popular every week, so even people outside, they schedule their time zone so they can be at work with their earbuds or, watching it while it's on. So we start normally where the main host goes over the current events. And so I really want to just translate it to English so we can bridge you in before we start the more fun stuff. How about that?
I have no idea what he said.
Yes. Yeah, and in our Constitution, the two languages that are official in Palau is English and Palauan. And people appreciate that they speak Palauan. We speak Palauan because there are people in all the 16 states who simply don't read the newspaper, which is written in English. So they get their news from Mr. Talams over Palau Wave, and also when we share about current events, and especially the ones who are just at home, the elderly, people who don't read the news, they can get their news. So what he shared this morning is really just the front page main events. The Olympics starts in Tokyo. And so, of course, you mentioned that they wanted to take pictures with you before they started the race this morning. It does look good and strong when you're in uniform. So, yeah, we send them our love and prayers for them to win. And we have only 3 or 4 who are representing this tiny nation of 18,000. So they're in Japan now. And then he also shared about the court cases a little bit that's going on now. There's a young man, a Filipino citizen, who got arrested for drug trafficking, methamphetamine. So the reason we share is we want people to really know what's going on in the country. And you know, the U.S. has sent us 8 canine dogs to help. So we're very grateful for, you know, the work that we work together to keep drugs out of Palau. You know, it's and then he shared about the young lady who was accused for manslaughter. Her husband, they were out partying, and then he fell and hurt himself, and she brought him home. And then went back thinking that maybe he was going to be okay, but actually he passed away. And so she got accused for not calling 911, not taking him to the hospital. So those are kind of, school is starting on Monday, so we want parents to be aware and get well rested this weekend with their families before school starts.
And no problem with mask and all that.
Yeah, we're very
Protocol
blessed in
about COVID.
Palau that it's COVID-free and COVID-safe, so kids can actually go to school as normal. And the best news to this week is, for me, is this really nice gentleman. You see his picture on the news, Greg? That's Dr. Dale Jenkins. Dale Jenkins is, as Mr. Uludong shared in Palawan, most Palawans know him. He was one of the very first Peace Corps volunteers who came to Palau. So I brought this book, was asking my co-hosts if they've ever read this. The Fish and Rice Chronicles is this gentleman, an American who was from the West Coast, came as one of the first Peace Corps. You can get this book at the Belao National Museum. It makes you laugh. You know, he writes about, you know, being an American like yourselves. First time you come to an island like this, it's 1967, and, you know, the food he had to try, and, you know, how he had to sleep on the floor on a mat, and he's got a good sense of humor. So it's a really fun book to read, and I wanted to share that because I'm super happy and proud of Dr. Dale Jenkins. He's married to a Palawan lady. They have grown kids. And so he's been on the show with us too. And of course, he's around his generation, so they can speak English or Palawan. He's very, very fluent in Palawan. And so it's always fun to have him.
So is he going to be approved by the Senate or what?
I'm lobbying the Congress. So let's just say, you know, the president has made a great choice. You know, I always say people like him, who is a bridge, a perfect bridge for U.S. and Palau, and our education system is based on the U.S.-American system. It's so much easier for children to blend in with, you know, going to school here, and if they transfer for further education in the States. So congratulations to him. I am having faith, practicing faith that he'll get confirmed by the Senate.
Okay, so welcome to the show. And I guess, as I told you, our audience need to know who you are before you speak. So at least, who's the top guy here?
Can you grab the mic?
The Rubak.
Can you take it closer to you?
The chief has to speak first.
Can you face this way so the camera can pick you up?
My name is PJ Burns. I'm originally from New York, so the big city. I'm only about 20 minutes away from New York City. I ended up joining the Marines mainly because my dad was a Marine. So seeing his example was something that I really wanted to emulate growing up. So he was my role model growing up, still is to this day. And that's why I'm wearing the uniform that I am now. Wow. But I tell you, being a Marine is great because I get to serve with people like these who are just phenomenal patriots. And I enjoy coming to work every day because of the people I get to work with. So that's me, right? So I'm again PJ Burns, and I'll pass it over to Adam Zurn here.
I believe he's Captain PJ
Captain,
Burns.
yeah.
Yes. My name's Adam. I'm known Gunny Adam Zurn, I guess. A lot of people around here that know me so far pretty much know me as Gunny. That's my rank as Gunnery Sergeant. So I've been in the Marine Corps now for coming up around 18 years. I grew up in Wisconsin, farming community. Joining the Marine Corps seemed like a good way to get out of a farming community, but it was a great opportunity to actually do something more than kind of just continue farming in my generation. So being able to travel, help people out, go to different places, see all kinds of amazing cultures around the world has been an absolute opportunity. Make great lifelong friends, and then have a great job. I'm an engineer. So, which I really enjoy doing. So, building things and looking at things, I played in the dirt as a little kid, and now I get to play in the dirt still as an adult. So,
Okay.
it's been a great time, and I enjoy it.
Well, you look
every
like
minute
a
of it.
farm boy,
Yes.
I don't know if that's a good thing. Or not.
I'll just nod and say yes.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is First Lieutenant Duane Kampa. Kind of like Gunny, I'm from Minnesota, so I joined the Marine Corps to get some more opportunities and kind of get out and travel the world, see everything. The weather's a lot different back there than out here in Palau. It's pretty cold up there. We get a lot of snow.
Are you from the city or a farm?
I'm from right outside of the city, so
okay.
kind of a mix of both.
Suburb, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm excited to be out here in Palau. If you guys see us around anywhere, please come up and say hi. We'd like to meet as many people as we can.
Thank you.
Lady?
Hi, everybody, or I should say y'all. My name is Staff Sergeant Monica Knight. I'm from Texas. I come from a very big family, mostly boys, and so most of them were Marines, a long lineage of Marines, and they had a special code that they talked, and me and my mom always talked to nails, skin, and hair, and, a lot of girly stuff, a lot of glitter. And I really wanted to understand their language, so instead of going to college and being part of a sorority and, parties and all this cool stuff, I decided to join the Marines. It was a very different pace, very different community, and just a very different line of work. And it was refreshing, too, because it exposed me to men that are really great, very smart. Even though it has a small community of women, we are a small percentage, but we are still strong, and of course, women can do anything. So coming from Texas gave me good roots, and then going into the Marine Corps. Going on 15 years now, and soon I'll be joining Gunnery Sergeant Zurn, and I'll get promoted to become a Gunnery Sergeant soon. So
Right.
You
Happy
look
to
like
meet you.
us.
I do look like you. The Marine Corps has a specific duty. It's called Marine Security Guard duty, where we serve abroad at your embassies. So I've gone to Pakistan, and I've blended in with Pakistan, and I've come to Palau and Hawaii, and everybody tells me I look just like them, so I feel very international.
So you-
But I only speak English and Spanish, so that's as
so
good
you're
as it
South
gets.
America, your background is ethnic
My background is Mexican and Polynesian. My mother's Polynesian. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll be out and about.
Okay. Come on.
Well, we are all a global community now, so I think he's part Pakistani as well. Yeah. Well, I just want to say welcome again to you as a group. I met with Lieutenant Kampa, and he informed me that you are with the Moana.
Yes, we are.
So well, on behalf of Palau, we welcome you, and it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Talk about yourself a little bit, because as Mr. Uludong was asking, are you from around the farm too, or from the city? We have also people in Palau who just can't wait to get out. So I'm sure the young people are listening to you now, and we have had many people join also the U.S. military, a lot of our families, including the high chief in his village that he can share about, is a vet, an ex-Marine. So
Yeah, Marine Sergeant, yeah. Okay, so I guess the question is, what are you doing here? I mean, since you're the boss, what's your mission here?
So our mission is actually very simple. So we're here to work with the state and local governments to help out wherever we can. So I know we've worked with the Ministry of Education. They've given us a list of projects for all the schools, a lot of the elementary schools, to potentially try to help out. So we're exploring options to be able to do that. We're also helping your police force, because right now there's no place for them to actually train on their weapons. So we're trying to build an actual range for them to be able to safely go out there and practice with their weapon systems. We'll make sure that it's completely safe, but it's also a good opportunity for them to get more familiar with those, so that when they do unfortunately have to use that, they'll be able to do it in a safe and responsible manner.
What kind of weapons?
So they have M4 rifles, and then they also have pistols. So those are the two things that we're training them to. So working with we're also working at the airport to try to put some more concrete down for the airport. So we know that there's the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, sent two containers here to be used as some kind of storage for any kind of medical emergencies, whether there's some kind of outbreak or something along those lines. Those containers would be able to hold different kind of medication, things of that. So right now, those containers are just kind of in the way. So we're going to pour some concrete down and create some more storage for the airport. So really, we're just here to help out however we can, and definitely enjoy the Palauan culture.
So you're going to be seen at the schools, and then
Yes, sir.
At the training site with the police. Is that in Ngirmang?
So that's going to be up in. We're still working through some details, but right now it's looking like it's going to go in Nepang. So the Cross Island Road, right, kind of in the middle of the Cross Island Road.
The one in Ngirmang looks like a small, tiny hunting range.
Yes, it will be. It will be somewhat different than that.
You know that that road across the island, east-west.
Yes.
I was a governor of Ngesar State on the east side. We built that.
Oh, no way.
And we built that first with machete and chainsaw.
Well, that's
After that, and it took 3 years. Yeah, I mean that time is in the 80s. It was hard work, you know. So
that's how we got to get into this little area that we have.
So it's going to be in the middle.
It'll be in the middle, yes, sir.
Yeah, in fact, because the reason why we did it, we want to open the interior of the island for us, so people can move, to the interior, because we traditionally live on the coast. We don't live inside because we're usually fishermen and people, so I guess our ancestors, when they first came here, they hit the coast and they remain coast around the island, But I'm glad, because since the road was made, there was no settlement there, no farm, and it's so are you at the border between SR and Ngirmang, or?
It's pretty close to the
Yeah.
border,
That's good.
That's really a thick jungle.
Yes, sir. We've learned.
I mean,
I thought you guys had gotten a workout in your run, walking through there and cutting.
yeah, I mean, it's like if you go deep into, you cannot tell which east, west, and the sun. I mean, it's. So I hope you don't get lost,
We're putting like little tapes to
Yeah.
find the trail back.
Yes. No, what you do is when you go, you break the branch.
Yeah.
See,
to
we
show
put little
movement.
candies down as we go.
Okay.
What do you mean get lost? They're the Marine?
Yeah.
I mean, we do blend in quite well.
Yeah. So how many of you? How many of you here?
We're looking upwards of like 200 to 250, somewhere around there.
My goodness.
And it would be trickled in over time. So.
That's more than population of most states here.
Yes.
We noticed. We were like, yeah, we see a lot
How
of the
long are you
same
gonna be
familiar
here?
faces.
We'll be here probably till the fall time frame. So somewhere around fall, we'll be trickling in and then kind of trickling out to hopefully hit as many of these projects as we can.
Wow. So and then so you're helping the schools. What kind of program or buildings?
So, like Gunnery Sergeant Zurn said, we're engineers. Like, she's an electrician. He's a combat engineer, so he does the construction stuff. I'm kind of like the project supervisor type role. He is too as well. But we're looking at doing any of the projects that the schools need. So they have wobbly railings, things like that, just kind of replace or fix. There's some concrete that's broken off, and they just want us to kind of patch it up and make it look nice. There's some roofing that a couple of schools are looking to get painted or replaced, so we're exploring all of those options. But that's kind of what we're looking at right now.
And it's not just the construction too. The one good thing we have is we have a lot of skill sets for the task force coming here. We have everything, engineers to truck drivers to our media personnel. So we're welders. So we're trying to help people. I mean, even just with information exchanges. Just subject matter exchanges. Like example, we've had some of our surveyors working with Polaris help train with some equipment and make processes better. So really anywhere we can kind of plug in and help is what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Like this week we went to a PPUC and we met with Miss Pua and Mr. Tito, who run your power plants, and they gave us like a full tour and just kind of like gave us so much information and just helped us really understand like what was their power grid, how could we help, and how could we see for the future for them. So big shout out to them, and also our tour guide JR. So he was awesome, and he took us all the ways to Amelik as well and showed us the power plant up there as well. So that was really great. So appreciate their time.
You're very interesting because electrician is not for women; it's for men. How do you women?
He's an old generation.
You don't want to start.
Okay. So how do you become electrician?
Yeah. It's not about size; it's about technique, and that's what we all understand.
That's right.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
So how did you become an electrician, or what
What
interests you?
inspired you?
I just like to fix things. I like small details. I like to read a lot. I'm what we considered like a geek. I like to have books and stuff, but I also like makeup and glitter and all that fun stuff. But I like to fix things, and I like to see the bones of a structure and something to go from a flat ground to a building or a home for somebody, and something that they're gonna have forever, and understanding the intricate pieces that go inside of it, the wiring of a wall, understanding the math behind it, and everything that I can do to help somebody build that memory or that home and that experience. No dollar sign on it. It's just for their future and what they want for their family. So it's kind of around family oriented. My brothers always challenged me, and I had to outsmart them. They were super strong, all brawn but no brain. So I had to be the brain.
It's really important profession because I
is.
build my own small buildings here, and the problems we're having now, especially with the wires, because we put the wires in the cement, and oh man, it's just a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
So it's and I think the government here, we've been trying to put a standards of code,
Right.
and really it's important. Yeah.
And that's something I spoke with Mr. Tito about down at PPUC when in the U.S. we've adopted the National Electrician Code. Every state has a different level of the code, meaning it could be an edition of the book that the year was established. So maybe a 2017 book or a 2020 book. But every inspector that comes out goes by a specific code. So every building that we do build or anything will get double checked, probably triple checked, just to see that it's safe, because safety is very paramount for us with electricity. And considering you're on an island, electricity and water don't mix. So just understanding that. And then our Marines, they get a lot of training about safety and hazmat, because...
So do you advise us to adopt American code?
I think it would be a great opportunity for you guys to establish a code, or even just go off of our code, or even another code. It could be international code or whatever fits your country and what you guys see that you want.
We follow Americans because when you guys liberate us from the Japanese, we've been following you almost everything.
Yeah.
But the question is, when it comes to like construction code and stuff, what happened in Florida? Kind of scared me to follow American system.
Yeah.
If the whole building just collapsed out of the blue. I
Yeah.
mean, that's.
Sometimes unfortunate things just happen.
It could be the earth underneath.
Yeah, and there's things like sinkholes and everything like that. They just develop themselves, and they could collapse a building or something of that sort. We don't know.
So I do know with that, there's a lot of investigation that's going on with that. And the structure, there was a lot of inspectors that would go out over time, and they came up with all these things saying, hey, this needs to get fixed, this needs to get fixed, this needs to get fixed. And it just kept getting slid under the rug because they didn't have the money. So had they listened to the inspectors and they actually put in the money, that building would have stood, and unfortunately more of those individuals would have been here today.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of projects also here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want to cut costs and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Construction, you don't want to cut costs. You want to do it
Yes,
right.
that's
You want to do it
right.
right.
Yes, safety. And what about the gentlemen? Let's start maybe with you, one of you, and tell us what inspired you to choose a profession. As you guys are sharing, you're really helping also the young people who are listening to us.
Well, for me, it's actually pretty simple. I was going to go to college out of high school for engineering. My family background is a lot of my uncle owns a heavy equipment business. My father owned a logging company. My grandfather had a farm. So just lots of different skill sets. So I was going to go to school for engineering, and I just had a good recruiter and a buddy who dragged me into the recruiting office. At the time, it was 2003. And it sounded for a 17-year-old kid. It was a great opportunity for me to get out there, do something new. Fortunately enough, the Marine Corps had engineers, so they're like, hey, you can work on school while you just start doing the job now, get some experience. Plus, they told me I could blow things up, so that was a really great opportunity. I think that's what got it for me. I was 17, and they're like, you can blow stuff up. Yeah, we won't be doing that here. But I was like, sure. So I signed up. I knew that I was going to spend at least 20 years and retire from the Marine Corps before I even went to boot camp. But it's been great because like I said, I love building things, and I really like engineering, especially going different places. Because we've already learned a lot since we've been here. From what I've known on how do we build a road or how do we build a structure, I'm learning brand new things here since I've been here for a month, and I like it. I like to learn about stuff like that because once I retire, I'm going to continue on with engineering.
So did the recruiter approach you first, or you walk into the recruitment?
No, my friend tricked me. He said he wanted to go to a local gun store. He's like, new gun store, and I'm from Wisconsin. There's a lot of hunting, so I was like, I'll go look at guns. And I was his ride, so I was the one driving, and it was the recruiting office. So he brought me there. I was a stubborn little kid. I was like, it's not for me. My family's been in the military since every generation has been since World War I, but I'm the first Marine. So they've all been in the Army, so I thought there was going to be some clashing going on there. But my grandfather was actually happy for me. But yeah, my buddy dragged me in there, and after I left the door, I had my cell phone, and I called my mom. And she's like, thought something was wrong because that was normally how my phone calls went. And I was like, we need to get a hold of my dad, my birth certificate, my social security card. She's like, oh my God, what happened? I was like, no, nothing's fine. I was like, I decided I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go join the Marine Corps instead. I was like, we'll talk about it later. So I hung up the phone, and that was that. So 2 hours later, I got home. She was like losing her mind.
So you joined out of the high school?
Yes, right out of high school. Yep. I actually graduated high school early so I could go to boot camp.
Yeah.
So
Well, interesting.
yeah.
It's probably the fastest way to learn engineering, to be in college listening to theory a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get your hands dirty.
So
Yes.
what about you?
This is my second job in the Marine Corps. When I first joined, I was enlisted and I was a heavy equipment operator. So I worked in the engineering community. I did bulldozers, cranes, graders, all of that, which at the time when I was younger was a lot of fun because who doesn't want to drive a bulldozer or run a crane all day? And then somewhere along the line, I decided that I wanted to go to college, but I didn't want to get out of the Marine Corps. So the Marine Corps actually has an awesome education opportunity where you stay on active duty and you get to go to college and then you become an officer after. So I got to take advantage of that, which was absolutely amazing because I love the Marine Corps and I got to, complete my dream of going to school. And now I'm a public affairs or a comstrat officer, which is kind of like a mix between public affairs and journalist. And I just get to tell the story of what all the other Marines are doing now. And
So you're in the media, huh?
yes, sir.
Oh,
These
you're
are
into
the
it.
media, Palau Media Council is here.
Got the right people.
Yeah, I think Sado and I will need to talk to you after
Oh,
this.
absolutely, yeah.
So in Palau, the media people, they say, don't get mad at Mr. Uludong. He's not saying he didn't tell somebody to go stand on the side of the causeway naked. He just reported it.
He's just telling you about it, yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
they say the politicians, the high politicians here, when I confront them in public setting, and they said, hey, that's your own making. You made that up. That's not the news, especially the last president.
Are we on record or are we off record?
So, Yeah, we have to have a talk with you.
Yes.
Anyway, talking about recruitment, I tricked my son into Navy.
You tricked him into the Navy.
He flew for, he was in trouble, he was causing trouble after high school, so he went to US to live with the auntie, and then he caused trouble in the house. So they kick him out. So he woke up and he called me, he says, "Hey, I need money." I said, "What?" "I need $300 because my auntie kicked me out because I caused trouble at the house." So I said, "Okay. So what are you doing?" He said, "I'm in the middle of in California, some street." So I said, "Okay, if you go to join the military, you go to the next recruitment station and join, I'll send you the money right away." So he walked so about 2 hours he went. And then he asked me questions about all the detail about him and all that. So I talked to the guy. I said, "Is he in?" He said, "Yeah." "Okay." He said, "Sign the contract." He's going to sign the contract. I said, "Okay, you go to Western Union and get your money." He got into the Navy for 4 years.
That's good.
Yeah,
4
so-
years, recent.
That's good
Yeah.
parenting.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
that's good
fixing.
job.
Yeah, he fixed this helicopter engines.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which is
Does he still do that now?
no. He's out. He's going to school in Guam. He's studying to be a farmer.
Agriculture.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's no helicopter here. There's no this military plane here to fix it.
Yeah.
He has no way to get hired. So
Yeah.
he wants.
Mine kind of was like a trick.
Yeah.
So I joined when my dad was on deployment, and he came home, and my mother sent him the paperwork. She said, "Just sign it. It's some house stuff. We're just gonna fix the house stuff." And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna sign." So he signs, not knowing that he signed a contract for me to go into the Marine Corps. So he comes home. I've graduated high school, and he's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going to camp." And he was like, "Going to camp?" He was eating breakfast, and he was like, "Wait, you've graduated high school. What camp are you going to?" I was like, "I'm going to boot camp." And my recruiter was an actual female Marine, which was awesome. She was a little tiny farmer girl from Texas. And he said, "You better get off my doorstep right now, or I'm going to do something that you don't want me to do." So she was like, "I'll be at the car. Just meet me down the street. I'll be down at the street." I was like, "Okay." So I grabbed my toothbrush and $20, and I said, "I'll see you later. I'll see you in 3 months." And he didn't talk to me for 2 months, but it was okay because he got over it because I graduated. Yeah. But he was not happy because when he closed that door, my mom had an earful. So
Wow.
Just a question. I mean, we see a lot of movies about the military and the special force and all that. Is it true that the Marines are the toughest in the military? I mean, is that I heard it or?
So we're biased. We're gonna say yes, of course.
Of course, they are the toughest.
I mean, I've worked with a lot of the branches. I've worked at the Marine Corps Special Operations Command at the schoolhouse. I didn't do a lot of any instructing, but I was running their engineering there, and I've seen a lot of different branches come through, regular and special forces, and I would say that everybody has their own strengths. Just like in every community. Everybody brings something to the table that's equally as important. So as it comes to bragging who's the toughest, of course we're going to say we're the toughest,
So the Navy SEALs are different from you, and the Green Berets are
Yes.
Army and the.
Correct.
Yep.
And which special forces is yours?
So we have the Raiders now, which they were called MARSOC several years back, and they actually have a long lineage from World War II and beyond. There was a gap, and then they started back up the lineage because we didn't have anyone in Special Forces Command for quite a while. So now we do, and they're the Raiders.
So the Marines will be the first one to land in time of war, to a country to fly in or to attack them.
That is typically how it would work.
Our slogan is first to fight. So it depends on what's going on. Those are all big general decisions, but we try to pride ourselves on trying to get somewhere to create a solution as soon as possible.
Okay. So if you're in Palau now, and you're the Marines, then if the war starts between China and United States, you'll be the first one to land in southern China?
Probably not. Not me.
Yeah.
we may be gone by then.
Okay.
Well, that kind of reminds me, Ngirmang, about the Liberation Day. Every year around September 15th, we celebrate Liberation Day in Peleliu. So I think it was the year before COVID last year. So in 2019, my husband and I went down with another friend, and a U.S. Marine came down from Guam, and a Japanese professor, history professor, came down from Yokohama, Japan. And we went together all on the boat. We went to Peleliu, and Des Matsutaro, kudos to Des. He's like a walking, wealth of knowledge about history. So he took us all around the island. And then the moment that I really never forgot was when we went to Orangey Beach, the place where the Marines came up. And we were all standing on the beach together looking out to the horizon. And the way Des explained the history, it just went, it became very vivid in our minds because he was very descriptive in English. And my husband and the U.S. Marine, the Japanese guy, and I were just listening there while he's talking about what do you call that, the big tanker or something that came out of the water while they were coming up on the water, very vividly. And so we finally just fell on our knees. We had tears, and so I asked everyone if we could pray. So I prayed for all of our countries, for peace. And the U.S. Marine, with tears, he took a Ziploc and took some sand inside the Ziploc to bring back to Guam. But that was, if you ever get a chance to talk to Des Matsutaro in Peleliu, it was really something for people like yourselves to sacrifice your lives and to be right there for people, to save countries, to promote freedom. And of course, when you're working around MOE, MOJ, especially MOE with the students looking at you, you are a role model of discipline and hard work. And so it's very important for us that the community and the children and the people listening feel comfortable and get to know you. As we're all people, but we all have our different gifts. And you guys have the gifts of bravery and your individual, skills and stuff that you share.
You're a military of United States. You're part of the military of U.S. And soldiers are to kill. I mean, to defend the country or to attack the country. And then we associate you with war. So I noticed like your jobs are community-based jobs and has nothing to do with war. So I'm kind of asking myself, when I grew up and about the history of the World War II here, and we study about military, and I'm a history buff, so I want to learn about the military expedition around the world and different countries. So you're here. So I'm thinking, okay, so you're here to do all this community work, different. It has nothing to do with fighting. It's nothing to do with war. So I'm asking myself, I said, you're from a different country, you come here, so for what? What are you doing? For what purpose are you here? What are you doing? Your work, your own mind, I mean.
You want to bring the mic?
Sir, it's like you said earlier, we have a long history with Palau, and so we're here, we are your military. So it's, people from Palau join the U.S. military. We're your military by the COFA, and so we're out here to help people like we would anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's what the main thing is.
So I think Palau, the U.S., really everybody around the world understands that allies are extremely important, right? And the things that you guys can help provide us, we can help provide you in different ways, right? So just being here to help you out in little things is extremely beneficial, really personally to us, because we all want to help people. That's really why we join. And a lot of us chose these occupations to be able to do things like that. But really it's just about allies, keeping friends where we don't know if we'll need them, but having allies is extremely important. And that's what we're here to help.
I hear that it's really about patriotism, and I like that because You know, we can be patriotic to Palau, but we also know that we have a very good relationship with the U.S. And a lot of us, like I am married to a U.S. An American, you know, and it's kind of, we will always have that special relationship. And like I share the history of when those Marines were coming up on that beach. It's actually very emotional. So hopefully in September, if you get a chance to join, and we usually go down there to just to do that, to pay respect. And so in that regard, I also just want to say, pay our respect as a group to our two paramount chiefs of this country. One is a retired U.S. Army. He's High Chief Yutaka M. Gibbons. So he's the paramount chief for the west coast of Palau, the west part.
Southwest. Yeah.
Southwest part. And then the other one is a retired U.S. Marine, and he's the paramount chief, Bao Ngirmang. Bao Rafael? Rafael Bao Ngirmang. So he's the high chief, paramount chief for the other side of the two, halves.
Northeast Federation.
Northeast Federation of Palau. So that also tells you that we are very understanding of the military as our protectors locally, our high chiefs are both retired military. And so seeing you around town, going around schools and stuff, it's for the children, for people in the community, we want them to feel comfortable. That they can, even though you're in uniform, they can offer you papayas or bananas, and not feel like, oh, they're officers, so, yeah. We want you to also feel like you're a part of the community while you're helping us.
I think it's also a human aspect. You want to be part of a family. You want to understand that you're here to help, and we are. But we're also human, and in that aspect of being human, there's men that I work with that I trust wholeheartedly that may not be blood, but they are my brother, and I know that I can trust them and that I can talk to them. And that's kind of what we want to spread to your country too as well. We're here to help in any way that we can, whether it's, going to one of your events or playing with the kids or something of that sort. And just understanding that, trust can be built and we're here to help. So
I think one of the things, I keep hearing, people are interested in meeting us, not sure what we're about. I would say, we're probably as interested, if not more interested, in meeting everybody else. That's one of the reasons I get to travel and, experience different cultures. Which is why we go out to a lot of the events. A couple weeks ago, we were at the night market. We're actually going to be there again tomorrow. You're talking about the High Chiefs. I actually met High Chief Raklai. Oh, good. Love him. We talked. We had lunch. We talked about the Marine Corps for over an hour. It was awesome. It was really cool though. It was really awesome. Because we met with him because we're going to be going up in the lake up north. Yes. We're going to be assisting with some helping cleaning up some of the vegetation that's growing in the lily pad. So
it's a going on project.
Going on project.
August 7th, I think, is the next
Yeah,
one.
so we're going to be helping out with that too. So just different things that we can get out there and help the community. And it's really rewarding for us because when we went to the night market, I got a storyboard that was built by students, which I was surprised. I don't think at that age I ever would have been able to build something that nice. So it's just really cool for us to get out and meet new people. We met the Thunder Chiefs, the motorcycle club.
Yes.
A lot of really cool guys there. That was a lot of fun as well. So it's really fun for us to meet people as well.
But you guys are different than the ones in Peleliu and Angkor.
Yes.
There's military there.
Yes.
So that's army.
Yes, in
That's Army
Angkor
that's
there's
there right
Army. We will be in Peleliu a little bit. Actually, I don't know the name of it. On the 14th of August, they're having there's an event that's going on down there.
Yes.
So we're actually going to be going down there. I'll be going down there within the week we're going to start doing the roads in the town, kind of helping rebuild some of the roads there.
Full of potholes. Things
There's
like
just
that.
old roads, potholes, so we're just going to, one of the things we can help out with is just helping kind of fix some of the roads just so that, when people are driving, less wear and tear on the vehicles, things of that nature. So we'll be down there for a short period of time too, which I'm really looking forward to going and getting my own thing of sand from Orange Beach as well.
Yes.
So we have Marines here, we have Army in Angkor. What about the Navy? Where are they in Palau?
So they are here actually.
Yeah.
So the Navy is over at the CAT.
Yeah.
So they're not the CAT. They help with like the facilities of Camp 2,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the Air Force is the CAT right now.
Oh,
So we got a
okay.
little bit of everybody around here. Actually, we're bringing Coast Guard out with us as well.
Alright.
So they'll be helping with the EEZ and just kind of making sure that the waters are patrolled and there's no illegal fishing going on, because I know that's a big deal around here. So we're trying to help out with that as well.
So in all total, how many?
For us,
No,
total.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's.
I just know that
It's in hundreds, right?
Yeah, it'll be a few
There'll be a
hundred.
few hundred, yeah, but all the branches are here. Lots of engineers. You know, the CAT team is all engineers, so we're here doing engineering as well, which is kind of cool for us because we actually don't get a lot of opportunities where we'll work with all of the branches as well, especially with engineers. We have our own roles for our branches. So it's really unique to be able to actually meet all the other engineers and talk to them, and
By the way,
we're even learning from
is-
each other.
Do you carry guns here?
No.
No.
So we're not under the U.S. military rule.
You're
No.
welcome to carry spare guns.
No.
If you want to go spear fishing, it's totally okay to go spear fishing.
I'll go spearfishing.
Yeah.
Moses, I was just wondering because we watch international news. We hear about the tensions between China and the United States. And so some Palawans are concerned of your presence here. Why all of a sudden in the last 2 years, there's influx of U.S. military to Palawan. It seems like you're doing more of a community services than preparing for a military war.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I would say that's spot on. And I mean, really, like the CAT team's been here since like the 80s.
Yes.
They've been here forever.
Yeah.
And even
Long
though
time.
our physical presence been here a couple years, planning takes a long time to get us here. So we've been planning to help out for a while, and it just
And
takes us a
funding.
little bit to get here. And so we're able to get here and start helping out more and get in the community and do different events and help with structures and training and things like that.
I can also say that no one here wants war. Like no one wants war. We don't ask for war. We don't want any kind of war, because war all it brings is nightmares, and we don't want that for anybody. Ourselves, the Palawans, the China, U.S., nobody. So just putting that out there. We do not want war.
Actually, if I could just work and have fun, I think that's really all I want to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why my boss is here, because I try to have more fun than I work sometimes.
Yes, that is the island fever, so watch out.
Oh.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot of it.
On the contrary, there are many people, Mudalong, who are feeling safe. Because, there's U.S. military in most of the countries that are allies, like in Germany and Japan. And so we are grateful and representing the business community, as I shared with Duane. We are happy to also have you be a part of the community because you go eat gelato or you eat taro or, you're part of the economic, recovery,
So are
slowly
you saying
opening
that
up.
the military is good for the economy here?
Yes, they're just like us. They're gonna go
Okay.
spend money at the restaurants.
She's a
They're gonna go
businesswoman,
buy beer.
Chairwoman of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
So this is part of the deal, This
So
bringing them
we're
here
happy
to,
they're here.
Oh, wow. So let me drop this. What's going on in Washington, D.C.? What's going on in U.S. on January 9, January 6? I mean, I'm the only one here who studied political science, and I emphasize U.S. system. And I grew up to think and believe that it's the best system in the world and longest living democracy, never interrupted. And I became a socialist and communist during college in the United States, during Vietnam War, because I was convinced by the left, United States to oppose the war, And
He was
so
one
I-
of the Peace Corps.
so-
The hippies. No, I'm
so
just
I used to
kidding.
march on the U.S. street and stuff like that, and I really, I really think U.S. system is the best in the world. But what happened in your country in the last 4 years, and particularly in the last election and this, totally across the mind that I watched every day. I mean, every morning I watched the debate in this committee in the House. I'm 71 years old, you know. I've seen a lot, you know, travel around the world, and I'm thinking, what's happening? Is this system going to break apart, or I mean, it's just what's your thinking? I mean,
So I don't.
get your military hat and,
Yeah,
and then
so
you know,
I don't think it's going to break apart. America's too strong for that. We wouldn't let that happen, right? But I will tell you, from a military perspective, we are apolitical. So that means that we do not take sides. We're not Democrats. We're not Republicans. Individually, we may be, but we keep that to ourselves. As a military, like we said, we don't discuss it amongst each other. It's just kind of that unwritten rule that we serve all Americans, and we serve our allies. So that's kind of our stance. So is there things going on that I think can be fixed? Yes. Am I going to speak about those out here? Probably not. But
Good.
So given your system, I mean, if let's say a military general on January 6th or before that kind of declare martial law or something, and you think it's possible for, because your neighbor South America, they do all this military takeover and change of government. Is that your own thinking as American? Do you think that can happen in U.S. for the U.S. military to take over, like in time of like this?
personally, I would prefer not to talk about that, right? Like I said,
Yeah.
we're apolitical.
Yeah, but no, in your system, I'm talking about as a government. I mean,
Right.
your own knowledge of the system, and you're part of the military. You think it's possible for?
That's for our senators, our governors,
Yes.
our commander in chief to make the decision. And if they tell us that we're going to conduct martial law to settle things, then that's what the military does. But we leave that to them.
Yeah.
Moses, you need to read the new book that just came out. I only can fix it.
Yeah. And I like what Captain Burns said. They're here. They're people of service.
Right.
From a Christian country to another Christian country. That is the spirit that we want to have. And even on a human level, I don't know what megahertz thinks, but I practice.
That's her nickname. So if you see her
Yes.
around town, that's our night, megahertz.
But that is what, the gentleman here in this radio station and we don't get paid to do this show. We are people, who want to be of service to the community. And so part of you inviting you as our special guest is also to help the community to really see you as your personal selves, human beings with the same needs as we do, and you are people of service. We're here to help, and if there's anything that we also can do to make you feel more at home in Palau, to let us know. Right, Ngirmang? He started the first newspaper in Palau 45, almost 50 years ago, so he wants to always really know what's going on, which is normal.
We have upheaval in this country in the early 80s. And I mean, we had strike, the government literally stopped, the prisoners released, the police went on strike. It was one of these things that you read about in Africa, Caribbean, South America. And it's twice it happened. We really had and I was watching and I was involved. I was here. And you look at it, and in fact, I saw we met with the president and we asked him to invite U.S. military to come because it was chaos. Luckily, our traditional chief was the time
Civil unrest.
kind of took over and used a traditional system to calm the people, and we eventually restored it. But it's kind of things that, and I was thinking, I mean, your presence here, I think that also like. Factor of stability to me, security.
Like it's very reassuring.
Yeah, so we reassuring that.
And they're
yeah.
neutral, remember? A-neutral.
Wow. So, beside the program that you have mentioned, what other programs are you going to do? So your team will leave in a few months.
In a few
Then you have
months, yes,
another team coming in.
Potentially, yes, sir. So again, everything changes, right? There is currently plans to potentially try to extend this and still have a relatively decent-sized presence here in Palau to continue with the work that we're doing. Because we're not going to be able to tackle all the problems that we have here, and I know I think the budget here in Palau got cut, so I know talking with the Ministry of Education, everything is tight, so we're trying to help out where we can.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have you here because we depend on tourism.
Yeah.
And we depend on Asian Development Loan to run our government service. So what you're doing is a great help to Palau.
Yeah. Would you be so kind and maybe instead of just talking about work, share with us, like, do you have family? You have kids?
I do, yeah. So shout out to my wife Heather and
Yay.
my 2 boys, Jet and Logan. Jet actually turns 5 this month, so pretty excited about that.
And where are they?
They're back in California right now, so I get to talk to them relatively often, but they're doing good. So
We can give them a link so you can share this with your family, this show.
that'd be
So
awesome.
please, if you want to share with us also a little about your families.
I guess I'll go next. So I'm married, no babies yet. Hopefully babies when we get back.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm married. I don't have any babies yet. Hopefully we'll get some babies when we get back, but that's another time, for another story. But yeah, so just a shout out to my husband, Jarrett. Everybody calls him JT, but his pet name is Sweet Bean, so
Now the whole Palau knows his sweet beans.
everybody knows that I have a special Sweet Bean.
So is in the military too?
He's an officer now in the
Wow.
military. He was enlisted first, and then now he's an officer. So he's a really he's a different type of officer. He's what we consider a restricted officer. We call them warrant officers, and they were enlisted prior, and they kind of have the commander's ear to help him make better decisions based off of previous experience too, as well, being enlisted and now also being in the officer world.
Nice.
So.
And this happens a lot for people in the military to marry among yourself?
Yes, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just convenient. He understands my struggles. I understand his struggles.
Okay.
Sometimes you
They're
just
tough.
gotta go home and have a drink and be like, I know what you're feeling. So.
Where's your husband now?
He's in California. He's in 29 Palms training right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Good.
Okay.
So-
You?
How about you guys?
Oh, I actually, I
Can you
don't.
move your mic?
I
see you.
I myself, I don't have wife or kids actually, so it's just me. So I really just kind of, I always say like I just kind of get off work and do what I want to do. So, but I enjoy it. I like to travel.
He might end up
You're lucky.
living in Palau
Look,
then.
you're lucky. You're lucky. Stay that way. Stay free. Stay free.
I get that from a lot of my friends. Where I'm like, oh man, I'm
Oh,
on
yeah.
this road trip, and they're like, man, you're really lucky. They're like, don't do it.
Okay.
All right. So I have a wife, Joanna. We've been married for almost 10 years, and then we have a little boy named DJ, Duane Jr., and he's about 1.5 years old. They're out in California. So.
Ali from Palau, DJ.
Yes, Ali, DJ.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we're reaching the end of our program. So, I want to thank you, and this is really my first time to interview people in the military, this many. So, again, we're very grateful that you join us, and then we hope your stay in Palau will be more beneficial for you personally and also for us, Palauan people. So try your best, and we will accommodate you, I'm sure. So why don't we start with you, lady, and then make your concluding remarks if you want.
If there's anything you want the community, people inside and outside of Palau, you want to live with them. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, and I've definitely enjoyed your beautiful country. Can't wait to meet more of you, and hopefully if you do see me running or working out or just walking around, just stop and grab a selfie with Megahertz.
Wow.
Yeah, it's similar, right? Besides the selfie megahertz thing. But no, really love Palau. We've only been here a few weeks. Excited to stay here even longer. We got a chance to go to Jellyfish Lake. Got out on the water a couple of times. So if you have any really cool spots, please let us know. We're excited to go try them out. So.
I'd say even though, right, this is just what I wear for work, really I like to work hard, but I also like to have a lot of fun. So when you see me out and about, I'm probably more or less like a person of opportunity to have fun. And I like exercising a lot too. So me, like I've been at the gym all the time over at KSG. I'm actually gonna be working with the police, the Rangers stuff, doing a lot of stuff. Like I said, for me, it's fun. I tell my boss it's work, but it's an opportunity for me to have some fun. So
I'll introduce you to some nightclubs.
gladly. Hey, boss, I got work to do later. So, but yes, that's if you see me, definitely say hi. I like to have fun. I like to get to know people. So it'll be good for me.
I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being so welcoming to us. Everywhere we've gone, everyone's been friendly. They, want to talk to us and see what's going on. So we appreciate that. All of us want to get to know everyone here. And like you said, a lot of younger people are talking about the military. If anyone has questions about anything, they can come find any of us. And
Where can they find you?
Gunnery Sergeant Zurn used to be a recruiter. So we'll be out about anywhere we are. If we're at the night market, you can come up and ask questions. If you see us having lunch or anywhere, don't be afraid to come up and say hi.
But you're staying at the PRR, right?
We are at the PRR, yes, sir.
Yeah.
We do have Facebook, yeah. Moana, Task Force Moana 21. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say that
Okay,
again.
that's
It's
good.
Koa Moana.
Yes, Task Force Moana. It's
Task
KOA
Force.
MOANA 21.
All right.
Hey, by the way, your camera, can you introduce him?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Lance Corporal Martinez. Come over
Come
here.
behind and introduce yourself. Here.
Boy, these guys are all set, huh?
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Lance Corporal Atricus Martinez. I'm the combat photographer / videographer. So I'm walking around with all these other Marines, and I'm taking photos, documenting. And if you want to go check that out, like he said, we have our Facebook page, and you can go see everything that we're doing out here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I give a lot of props to Lance Corporal Martinez, because usually when I'm having fun, his boss makes him come with and do work, because he's got a video. He's taking pictures and video of everything we're doing.
Well, can we at least know if you have family? Do you have kids or
No.
somebody you want to say hello to? Are
So-
you from Palau?
Yeah, so I don't have any kids or wife or anything like that. I'm pretty young.
And you're open.
Open? Yeah, open. No,
Don't
but
go with him to the party.
I have to stay safe out here. But no, I got my dad and my mom out there. I want to say hi from Palau, and
Where are
then
they?
they're in California as well.
All right.
California.
Hello from Palau.
And then my little sister, her name's Sophia. Hi, Sophia. So,
Please.
Okay.
sorry.
All right. Thank you.
Sado, I noticed, the military is very hierarchical, from top to the bottom. I noticed, oh yeah, I guess, he's taking picture and nobody recognizes him. So I said, I guess it's a rank.
Yeah.
But he's doing the
Thank you,
good
Ngirmang, for
job.
including. It's a sergeant or officer.
Lance
Lance
Corporal.
Corporal.
Lance Corporal. Wow. All the different titles are very interesting too.
Okay, so Irene, since these are your guests.
Our
so-
special guest.
Special guest.
Yes, I want to thank you, Lieutenant Kampa, Duane, for bringing everyone here. I love your nickname, Megahertz. I'm gonna have to share that with my husband. He's a mechanical contractor, and he's always saying, "Oh, if only Palau had codes."
Next to Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, and Captain PJ Burns, and Gunnery Sergeant Adam Zurn, and then Staff Sergeant Monica Knight, and of course Lance Corporal Martinez. Thank you all for joining us this morning. It's like Mr. Ngirmang says, and Mr. Mudlong, we don't normally interview military. And so we've had, of course, the U.S. Ambassador. He's a fun guy. He's been here, of course, a few times. But this is, the first group. So I'm really grateful to you for, coming on the show. And now people who are watching on TV or listening, now they could see you and they listen to us and you're hanging out with us and they can feel relaxed. Say, oh, we're glad you're here, you're helping us, and we want you to also have some fun with the cultural, not only cultural sites, but really have some fun with activities. You know, if there's cultural dances or events or stuff, go have fun. Go, you know, learn a little bit of culture. You know, it's always nice. I've lived in the U.S. and I love July 4th. It's one of my favorite times of the year. When you go into each and every little town, you really feel that patriotism and, you know, and really fun activities and music and stuff. So we really want you to have a good time also while you're here. We
Yeah,
know you're working hard.
Yeah, we want to have fun too. Actually, that's a good thing. Like I said, I like having fun. So this morning we did a run. We did the night market. We're going to do it again. So if people see us, if they let us know about things, it's actually, I'm having a hard time finding out about things. I'm digging through Facebook and everything, but like any events, things going on, we'd love to hear about them because we want to go to them. It's you know, like I said, it's fun for me. My boss has to supervise me, but it's a good time for us. So
Yes.
if anyone, you know, starts talking to us, just let us know. You know, we're all about seeing and doing these things.
Good.
We did compete in the volleyball tournament. That was pretty
Oh.
cool. And shout out to the two
On the
ladies that
beach?
beat the 5-team Marine that we have. They were awesome, and they were in high school.
We did not do very well.
We showed up.
We attempted, yes, but kudos to everybody who came out for that. That was a really great crowd and a lot of young people, so it was really refreshing to see that.
Oh, good. Well, I did promise Duane when we met that also when there's events, cultural events, and even business events, anything that's happening in Palau, I'll definitely let you know. So you're welcome to show up and say hello, and that's our island way. We're very, you know, hospitable, and when you show up and say hello, people will start opening up and not be so shy. And so, welcome
Appreciate that.
again, and thank you for being here with
Thank you.
us.
Thank you for having us.
In Palau, we don't say goodbye, we just say Mauriu until we meet again.
Yeah, so hello is Ali, Mauriul, see you later, or until we meet again,
Mauriuls.
like Mr. Uludong said. Yeah, so,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a great day and a good weekend.
Yes.
Oh, also, when you do the lake, when you go, let us know
I'll let you
when,
know the-
because the business community or some young people can join, and it's fun.
Yes, yes.
You know,
August 7th.
yeah.
August 7th, okay.
Always after the work, there's always good times, food and such. So,
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
Okay.